everyone, I want to talk about the most annoying thing that recruiters do that I've seen them do and that I keep hearing stories about on this channel, that they do this all the time. So recruiters, by their very nature, don't understand the technicalities of the positions that they're recruiting for. So for example, if you have a recruiter who is hiring for an accounting position, and that recruiter is talking to candidates who are accountants, the recruiter doesn't understand anything about accounting. They've never worked as an accountant, they're not qualified as an accountant. But what's messed up is that occasionally they will make a judgment about those candidates based on their technical requirements. For example, they'll look at their resume and say, "Oh, I see that you've spent the last 10 years doing this particular type of accounting over here. Well, this position I'm hiring for, we require this type of accountant over here to do this particular work. And I don't see any of that specific experience on your resume. So how could you possibly think that you're qualified to do this job?" Now, the accountant is thinking, "Oh my God, this is idiotic. I'm a fully qualified and certified accountant. I'm qualified to do all this work. And I trained on how to do this work, and the work that I've been doing the last 10 years of my experience, that fully qualifies me to do the work that you're advertising for in this position." But yet somebody who doesn't know the first thing about accounting has just judged you and decided that you're not technically qualified to do that role. And if you've ever been in this position before, my heart goes out to you. This is idiotic, and it happens a lot more than you think. So the big question is, what can we do about this? If you're a candidate that's been in this position before, what's the solution? Well, the good news is that there's several things you can do. Let's get the obvious stuff out of the way first. First of all, don't let these people impact your sense of self-worth. Just because they don't know what they're talking about doesn't mean that you're not qualified for the things that you're qualified for. That's the first thing I want to make clear to everybody. The second obvious thing is that if you're going about getting a job by applying for posted positions and then dealing with recruiters, what you got to know is that this is a numbers game. What that means is that you're going to need many, many attempts, and it's random chance that determines whether you get a bite. So one time you might encounter one of these idiot recruiters, and the next time you'll encounter a recruiter that you just click with, and they immediately see your value, and it leads to something. So keep on keeping on. Now the good news is you don't always have to talk to recruiters. In fact, many people who get jobs don't actually talk to recruiters. Instead, they're talking to the boss. And when I say boss, I mean, if you were to get the job, this is the person that you would report to. Within the context of recruitment and selection, the boss is usually referred to as the hiring manager. The great thing about talking to the boss is that they understand the technicalities of the role. They've probably been in that role themselves for many years. So if you want to talk shop with them about the nitty-gritty of how to do the job and what you can bring to it, they will understand that stuff, as opposed to most recruiters whose eyes glaze over and they don't have a clue what you're talking about when you want to get into that kind of detail. If you want to talk to a boss, there's many opportunities to do this. Sometimes when you're in a job interview, the interview will be conducted by a recruiter and the hiring manager, so you have a chance to speak directly to the hiring manager and get into the technicalities of what you could bring to that position, which is a tremendous opportunity to win them over. It's also possible to reach out directly to the boss and thus bypass the entire HR and recruitment organization, at least for the initial interview. I've discussed this at length on my channel, so I've got a lot of videos that can help you if you want to learn how to do this. But listen, everyone has value. A really annoying trait that a lot of recruiters have that I've seen is that they just don't understand transportable skills when they see them. They can't recognize them when it comes to technical areas. And this is a real problem. Don't let anyone cause you to devalue yourself through these ridiculous false assumptions. If you're qualified, you're qualified. Don't question that. Just keep on keeping on and you're going to be fine. Remember, you're awesome.